Good morning, students. Welcome to third lecture of third module of economics. Okay, in this today's sessions, we'll be dealing with the things. In the last class, we discussed about the economics and its objectives and what are the problem solving and decision making process. And let's today in this session, we'll be discussing about the what is the supply means, demand means, what are the factors affecting it, and what are the laws of supply and what are the laws of demand. Okay. The last class we discussed about this also. Okay, the problem solving and decision making. There are, as we have discussed, there are the problem solving is done through scientific methods. Okay, the scientific methods will be including the theoretical as well as practical knowledges to solve the same. Okay, and it will be taking off real world of facts and figures and symbolic world of theories and hypotheses, okay, to solve the problems, okay, through an iterative process. Iterative means one after the another, one after the other, okay. That process is called as iterative process. Once it is not done, again rework it, again come back, okay, reworking, okay, try and try again, get the success. Okay, so as we discussed, the problem solving process involving both the worlds. Okay, so real world of economics, planning, management and controls. So you can see over here, the figure will be representing how the problem solving and decision making will be taken place. Okay, so here we are having the real world. Okay, so real world is there. So real world. Okay, so one on the problem is from here. Problem start with here, and after the problem we start collecting the data. Okay, this is the data. Okay, so next, after the data is taken out, what are the things are being happened, what are the things are there, we are going to connect with the symbolic world also. The symbolic world will be consisting of various hypotheses. Here it is hypothesis. Hypothesis, and here it is experimentations, experiments, and here it is production, is predictions and all. Okay, so next testing and verifications, and again here it is feedback. Okay, feedback. Okay, so all these things. Okay, the problem solving includes all these things. Okay, so it's a closed cycle, we have to do repetitively. So once the results are not satisfied, and we have to do it again and again. Okay, so that it will be coming with the good results. So next we'll be moving further. So as we have defined this, okay, the problem is defined and clarified with the real world, clarified by the data from the real world. Okay, So we need to have the data from the real world. Okay. And next, the information is subjected to analysis based on the scientific principles to formulate the hypothesis in the symbolic terms. Okay. This is like a postulation of a theory or deriving a formula from the fundamental principles, deriving the formula. Okay. So next, third step, by manipulating and experimenting. Okay. By manipulating and experimenting, an analyst can simulate. Okay, he can do a simulation. Okay, and project reality in multiple configurations. Okay, so multiple ways. Okay, he will do various methods, various processes to get the all the outcomes, understand the all the outcomes, what all the outcomes are going to be emerged. Okay, so imagine the CAD software, which is can alter the product design in many ways. Okay, so he can use such a manner. He can go through the CAD modules and all these things. He can go to the product cost and various costs regarding the economics. Okay, from this activity, the predictions. Okay, the predictions or forecast emerges. Okay, can see over here, we can, after these all these things, what would be the probability of cost being taken. Okay, what will be the date, probable date can deliver the product, when we launch our product. Okay, so prediction or the forecast can be done with these three methods, with these things, processes. Okay, previous processes. Okay, this can be considered as a possible solutions. Okay, a possible solution to the decision problem. Okay, this prediction is subjected to verifications in the real world. Okay, whether it is possible or not, all these things can be verified for its practical purposes. And if it is gives desired result, if it is giving a right results, then the problem is solved. Okay, if not, okay, cycle has to be repeated with the valuable feedbacks. Okay, valuable feedbacks from the previous approach. Okay, so all this, if not succeeded, if the result are not at the mark, okay, we need to repeat the cycles continuously, repetitively from the available feedbacks. Okay. Okay. Next, very important today's sessions. It is one of the most demand and supply is the most fundamental concept of economics. Okay. For example, in nowadays, the demand is varies from person to persons. The need and necessities of the persons, of the people in the society, varies from person to persons. Okay. Okay, so demand, okay, the very demand and supply are the most fundamental concept. Okay, so which decides the market conditions, which decide the market economy and price of the commodities, price of the services supplied. Okay, all these things. Okay, so we can say in the second point. Okay, you can see over here, it's a backbone of market economy. Okay, for example, in the market. Okay, if the demand of for the agricultural product for like onions, if it is less, okay, so then the cost of the product is going to be more. Okay, so all these things, okay, the supply and demand goes with hand on hands. Okay, so that this is the most fundamental market economy. Okay. We can say it as two faces of the same coin. Okay, if one is also not there, so won't works out. Okay, so both then go in hand. Okay, and they will allocate the resources in the most efficient way possible. Okay. The demand and supply will allocate the all the resources in a most efficient way possible with the most efficient cost. Next, study about the demand and supply. The demand, okay, the demand means the desire. the desire for the commodity. Okay, so desire for the commodities. Okay, the desire for the commodity backed by the necessary purchasing power. Okay, so one has to, it's the desire, willingness to buy or the willingness to pay. Desire to buy, nothing but desire to buy the product. Okay, plus ability to pay, the people are ready to pay, plus willingness to pay. So these three includes the overall, what do you mean by demand? Okay, demand things. Okay, so it is nothing but the amount of product, the quantity of the product. Okay, the people are willing, are ready to buy a product, buy the product at certain price. Okay, at a certain price. Okay, so that is mean by the demand. Okay, the relationship between the relationship between the price, understand this, price and the quantity demanded. Okay, so it is been q. Okay, is known as the demand relationships. Okay, there is a relationship exist between the demand and supply. So that price and quantity demanded. Okay, the price versus the price on the y-axis, the quantity demanded, okay, on the x-axis, which will give the curves. Okay, so that curves will be called as a demand relationships. Laws of demand continues. Okay, there are important features of the demand. Okay, so one is there are four important features how the demand will looks like. Okay, so first point is it's very backed up by the adequate purchasing power. Adequate means satisfied or satisfactory purchasing power. One has to have the satisfactory purchasing power. Okay, so next, it is always at a price. It should be comes with a price. Okay, and it should be expressed. Okay, it should be always expressed in terms of specific quantities. Okay, it should be comes with a specific quantities, and it related to the demand is related to the time to time. Okay, sometimes the demand is more, sometimes the demand is less. Okay, it varies with the, it is related to the time. Okay, related to the marketing conditions. So next, there are a few assumptions before going to the law of demand. Okay, let's go to the assumptions of law of demand. Okay, first is there is no change in consumers. Very important regarding the taste and performance preferences. Sorry. Okay. There should not be any change in the consumers regarding the taste and preferences. They should only go with these products. Okay. The income should remain constant. Income should remain constant. The prices of the other goods or services do not change. Okay, there should not be, there should be no substitute for the commodity. Okay. Only one product should be available. Okay, then the demand will be there. Okay, the commodity should not confer any distinctions, no change in any variations. The demand for the commodity should be continuous. Okay, and people should not expect any changes in the price of the commodity. These are the basic assumptions before going to taken up for the law of demand. Okay. Okay, what it says, the law of demand, what it says, okay, it states that if all the other factors remain equal, okay, if all the factors remain equal, okay, uh, remains equal, higher the price of the good, higher the price of the good, and less people will demand for that good. Okay, so as the price becomes higher, okay, as the price become the higher, the demand for the product or demand people buying that product will be very less. Okay, next, okay, amount of goods the buyer purchase at a higher price is less. Okay, the number of amount of goods the buyer purchases at higher price is less because the price of the commodity goes up, and so the opportunity cost of buying that good is goes down. Okay, as the price is getting higher, okay, the people will go for the other alternatives. Okay, they are thinking of the less cost. Okay, as a result, people will naturally avoid the buying of